Driving, accelerating and hitting the brakes with all their hands. How it is done, my colleague with Ultimate FM, Ivan Fumado, tells us.
Imagine jaws dropping with surprise on people's faces whenever you are lighted from the driver's seat of your car. Well, that's the reality that greets physically challenged Johnson Nyamiche, a matured man with a virtually dysfunctioning left leg. In actual sense, driving is to be done with both legs on the pedal, but Johnson uses his hands. Well, not down there where the pedals are, his car has been adapted with hand controls that allow him to accelerate and apply the brakes from the side of his steering wheel. Walking with his braced leg in calipers with the support of a long walking stick, he offers to teach me how he moves the car almost effortlessly.
It works so perfect. I enjoy it. Sometimes the able ones even feel like to drive with their fingers. The strength that you used for your legs, you compare that to your hands, and it's so soft. So we don't need all your strength to push it as people have been mingling with their legs driving. With your hands, so cool and perfect.
This curiosity brings me to the Jachie Training Center for the physically challenged, where I meet the Ghanaian who manufactures these hand-driven technologies. Musa Baba Ahmed adopted his first vehicle in the year 1999 with metals he gathered from scrap yards after being trained as an orthopedic engineer. He is excited through his efforts. Over 30 persons with disability in their legs can drive safely without a single record of an adapted vehicle getting involved in an accident.
So far as I know, the whole country, this is the only place that will convert cars for disabled driving. There are a lot of disabled who want to have their own car because the power is not there. So if the government is able to help us, I'm sure we can even do it locally and even export it to the whole of West Africa, and that can even give us foreign exchange.
Ghana's Disability Act 751 makes provision for vehicles adapted for special use by persons with disability. In fact, such cars adapted from their countries of origin can be imported duty-free with permission from the finance minister. But one hurdle Johnson Nyamiche has to deal with is the police, who occasionally confront him, realizing he is driving without his limbs.
As soon as I got out of the car, a police officer, I think with anticipation that a strong person might have been in the car, he watched, and to his surprise, another person that was coming was also a disabled person like mine. So he was at a corner, and then he shouted, "Gentlemen, who gave you the authority to drive?" So she then came and then asked me, "So do you have a driving license?" So I quickly opened my folder, gave him the driving license. As soon as I was about to move, he shouted on his voice, "Oh, we're ready, who to me so." So I think he was the first person to see a disabled person like me driving.
While in Ghana, there is technology for adapting vehicles with hand-controlled pedals for the physically disabled. Don't be surprised to see a driver disembark from a car with either clutches, calipers, or a wheelchair. Perhaps very soon, you might be boarding a taxi or trotro being driven by a physically challenged driver. It further adds to Ghana's strides at meeting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 8, which aims at promoting sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, where there is full and productive employment and decent work for all women and men, including persons with disabilities.